Hi, my name is Janelle, and I've been feeling really blessed about my life and how far I've come lately, so I decided to post a video on YouTube to hopefully inspire women who were in the same situation as me, who are in the same situation that I went through, and just need a little boost, a little push, someone to believe in you, and because I believe in you, and I believe that everyone is capable of great things, and I just want to share my story, and hopefully it'll inspire you, or you could use it to inspire someone else, however you feel. But basically, about me, I was born in Paterson, New Jersey. My parents met here because my dad was in the Army, but he was from Arkansas, so that's ultimately where my parents moved to. I was raised in a small town in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Everybody knows everyone. You were born there, you grew up there, you grew old there. I mean, it's really as simple as that. In high school, I was odd, different. I did fairly well. I was the teacher's pet. Didn't really have that many boyfriends. I got teased a lot. So I couldn't wait to get out of that situation. I went to college in another town, even smaller than Pine Bluff. And it was sort of the same. And so that everyone knows everyone. You grow up there, you stay there, you grow old there. Same story. I really didn't do well. It was a mixture of depression and being homesick and just being confused about who I was and what I wanted to do with my life. So I ended up moving back to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and going to a community college there. I didn't do well there. So I went back to work at the fast food restaurant that I was working at in high school. I didn't stay there long. I moved to a new job in that same town at a popular jewelry store where I met my ex-husband. He was really popular, the guy's guy, the man that every girl wanted to be seen with, so I did feel really special that he chose me to be his girl. The really quiet, nerdy girl finally gets the popular guy. That's what I thought at the moment. He decided to move to Georgia to help one of his family members out, and months later I followed him there, and then that's when I began to see the real him. There was a lot of control, and I was left alone a lot so that he could go out with his friends and go to parties and things like that. And then soon after moving there, I became pregnant, so that just really added to the frustration of me being by myself all the time, late at night, on weekends, and I'm pregnant, and I'm alone, and I'm away from my mom, and she's not there, and there's only so much you can say and do over the phone. So I had to grow up really fast. And it came down to me being almost like a single mom, yet I was married at the same time, and so that I was doing everything by myself. I mean, the bills, for the most part, he paid bills, and I contributed my little money from the part-time jobs that I carried, but it was mostly me taking care of the household and taking care of the kids and making sure they got to doctor's appointments. It was really frustrating. I think the big mistake in that situation was that I was young. I was trying to get out of the small town that I was in, so Georgia sounded like a good idea. I really did love him. I thought that we were going to have the perfect life. I think for him, he really wasn't ready to settle down and have a family, so he acted on that by going out all the time and leaving me alone to deal with the kids in the house. There was a lot of resentment in him. He took it out on me. The fact that he did kind of get married and have a family, I guess he resented the fact that he didn't enjoy his freedom longer. So there was a lot of verbal abuse and eventually physical abuse that ended that situation. There was infidelity. I remember going to sleep crying, losing my hair, suicidal thoughts. It was just a really bad situation. I was aware of the infidelity, but I felt trapped, like there was nothing that I could do about it. I felt like I couldn't make it without him. I remember praying for God to change him, and it was a change that just wasn't happening. Eventually there was an incident with physical abuse which caused me to finally break free of that situation. It was basically me and my two kids from a women's shelter who paid for our bus ticket to get here to New Jersey. Me and my two kids on a bus with 2 car seats, 2 suitcases, and luckily my kids at the time were very well behaved. So it was an easy trip, thank goodness. I don't know how I did it, but I did it 2 days on a bus. And I got here with basically, I think it was $70. I moved in with my grandma. That was an extremely tough time because it's the type of family that likes to sweep things under the rug and nobody asks questions. If something's wrong, you simply overlook it. You don't deal with it. You just don't touch it. And I'm the type of person, I'm opposite from that. I want to know what causes the sky to be blue, who came up with that theory scientifically, how did that happen, you know, what's the result of this, that, and the other. I want to know who, what, when, where, and why, and how can we fix it if there's a problem. That's always been how I am. So you can imagine me being in the household and constantly ruffling feathers with my, you know, bringing up problems and wanting to solve them and wanting to dig and find solutions. It was just a really bad situation, and then we had another family move into that household with their child, so it was crowded. That particular family member was watching my son and decided to discipline him by hitting him in the face with a towel. And as a mom, I immediately went from lamb to grizzly bear. Any good parent would, you know, act the same way, I feel. The family member simply said it was my son's fault. He was being bad, so he deserved to get hit in the face. We eventually just got into a physical confrontation. The family member was the one who started it. But that family member is also my grandmother's favorite family member, so unfortunately, I was kicked out of the house. I was facing possible homelessness. I lived with my mom for a very short time, and I just remember, if there's any time in my life when I felt like I was at my lowest, it had to have been the fact that I was facing either being out on the street, being separated from my kids, because eventually, you know, foster care would step in and they take kids out of homeless situations. It was that, or I would be in a really, really bad neighborhood in a really, really bad situation. I remember months before that reading in the paper that a woman was shot who was in the housing project that was in my area. So I definitely didn't want to be in either one of those situations. So I remember just praying, and I took a chance and went to this apartment complex and just praying, God, please just make my credit be good, put all my ducks in a row, whatever you have to do to get me in there and into a safe place, in a safe environment with my kids. Please do so. And I got approved. My credit was good enough, thank goodness. It was tough at first. Because I was basically still on part-time hours, and I was basically making enough just for the rent. I was getting help from family members, just really, really trying to squeeze and piece things together. I don't know how I did it, but it came from somewhere, and I made it. I remember going to my boss immediately after getting approved for this apartment and just saying, whatever hours you have, please give them to me. And, you know, the ironic thing about it was, at the time, we really didn't have extra hours to give. They were cutting hours. And I just really remember just continuously praying and meditating and just working hard to prove myself with that job. Like, hey, not only am I asking you to give me extra hours, but I'm going to prove to you that I'm an asset to this bank and that I am a good employee and that I deserve those hours and that would benefit you to answer my request. And sure enough, I worked my butt off, and I got, you know, good sales reviews and good customer service, and they upgraded me to full-time status. And months later, they gave me another promotion. And actually, at the moment, I'm training for an additional promotion. So I'm now in a situation where my kids have the things they need, most of the things that they want, and I'm really feeling good. Every day I wake up in my apartment and I look around and I take a deep breath and I just think, wow, this is my own apartment. And I get into my car and I think, wow, this is my car. And I go to my job, which, you know, there's drama like in any place, and I think to myself, wow, I have a job. I have a full-time job, a promotion that I got, another promotion underway. In the midst of the recession, excuse me, tongue-tied. In the midst of the recession, I'm getting all these great things, and I'm able to pay my bills and to maintain a healthy financial and emotional lifestyle for myself and for my kids. And I just remember thinking back over the hardest times I went through in my life, just thinking, I'm not going to make it. I can't make it. This is too hard. I'm not strong enough. This is it. I can't go any further. And just remembering, if I could just go to bed and wake up the next day, I'll get stronger and stronger. And I kept going to bed and waking up and going to bed and waking up, and eventually I got stronger, and I always got through every situation I swore that I couldn't get through. I always made it. Things always look like they're so tough and like you can't make it until you look back one day and you're like, wow, look, I made it. I want women to know that you don't need a man to make it. But don't get me wrong, it's not wrong to want to be in a relationship, but you should never be desperate. You should never put yourself in a situation where you're with someone just to say you have someone. A lot of women, I feel, put up with much more than they should. You should never put up with a man telling you you're worthless, you're inadequate, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're crazy. You should never ever put yourself in a situation where you are allowing that type of abuse to go on, because after a while you condition yourself to believe those things, and you begin to act on those things, and you begin to feel like you need that person to survive. Because I was told that I couldn't function without my ex-husband. I could never function without him. I would always need him. He told me I was too dumb to function. I would never be able to maintain a household and take care of the kids, and here I am taking care of my house, fully functioning on my job, doing a great job at that, and taking care of my kids 80% of the time. Of course, they go to visit him for summer or holidays or whatever, but I'm doing all the things that he and other people told me that I would never be able to do. And even living with my grandma and having that particular family member rally to get me out of the house, I've come so far in situations where people told me I couldn't do something. I'm doing almost every single thing that people told me that I wasn't capable of, and I feel so blessed and I feel so lucky. And I just want women to know that you are capable of greatness. You are capable of great things. You can do absolutely anything. You just have to get your mind right. Just let there be a little voice in your head that says, yes, you can. Every time somebody says, no, you can't, just think, Janelle said I could. If you can't find it in yourself, just remember my voice. You can make it. You're beautiful. You're strong. You're intelligent. You're everything that you need to be to make it. You have everything that you need inside of you right now at this moment to make it in this world. It might be hard. It might be lonely. I can't go out every week with my friends. I can't date like I want to, but you know what? I'm doing what I have to do to live this wonderful life that I'm living right now. I'm not a millionaire yet, but I will be one day. You also have to just work hard. If I got this apartment and didn't put in the hours and work hard like I am, I wouldn't be able to maintain it. I would lose it if I didn't prove myself at work. I wouldn't have gotten those promotions. So it's all about hard work, and sometimes it's lonely, but I'd rather be alone than be with someone and wish that I was alone, if you know what I mean. So just keep pushing yourself, get yourself a good support group, and if you're like me and you really didn't have that many people supporting you, you don't need anybody to make it. And I was blessed to have people a handful of people that did believe in me and did help me, but you can still believe in yourself. You can be your own biggest cheerleader. You just have to keep pulling through. Keep pulling through. And sometimes bad situations happen to give you that nudge, that push to show you, yes, you are capable. If I'd have stayed in that marriage, I don't know where I would be. I don't know where I would be right now. I don't even want to think about it, but you can make it. You don't need a man. It's okay to want one, but you don't need one. It's okay to want to do everything that everybody else is doing, but you don't have to. Sometimes you just have to focus at the task at hand and know that you're capable of greatness. If everybody realized that they were capable of greatness, I think the world would be a better place. Tap into that greatness. Anyway, if you like this video, please give me a 5. You can give me questions that you have or comments or whatever. My email address is janelleed@yahoo.com. Again, janelleed@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for talking to me, listening to my story. I appreciate your feedback. Thanks. See you later.